Hey, I want to do a quick video today that a lot of people have been asking for. I want to give everyone a first look at and maybe take some first shots with my new revolver here, which you can see is a Korth. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say that's pronounced Kort because Germans and blah, blah, blah. No, it's pronounced Korth because we won the fucking war, so we get to decide how TH is pronounced, not a bunch of dead Nazis. So this is my new Korth revolver. All right, so let's go ahead and get this opened up here. You'll see it comes in a nice little linen box, but they call it a linen box. I call it cardboard. But, for what this gun cost, it should come in, like a subcompact car, but it comes in a linen box or cardboard box. But the gun itself hopefully makes up for that. All right, look at this thing. This is nice. Now, I took a lot of the stuff out of here already, so we wouldn't have to dig through paperwork and targets, etc. So let me get this out of here. We'll take a quick look at it. All right, here it is, my new Korth NXR. Now, this is their first 44 Magnum they have made. Now, you will see this is the 4-inch, and a lot of people are going to say, why'd you get the 4-inch, not the 6-inch? Well, there's two reasons for that. One, I actually kind of deluded myself into thinking I might carry this someday. You never know. I might just say, screw it, and carry my Korth because it is such a freaking awesome gun. But the other reason was because the 6-inch was already sold, and I don't think they're getting any other ones in anytime soon. So I got the 4-inch, and I'm tickled pink with it. I think it looks freaking awesome. But I want to go over some of the features of it here for people who may be unfamiliar. And then, like I said, maybe take it out, fire some rounds through it, and let you know, is this gun worth the money? Now, before we actually get into the performance of the gun, let's actually just look at some of the features and some things you'll notice when you look at the gun. All right, first off, I want to answer a question that I got most often when I posted a picture of this gun, and that is, what is that red thing right there? Well, that is the cylinder release. On a traditional Korth, it is down here beside the hammer on the back of the gun. You just push it forward and you release your cylinder. As you can see there, the cylinder itself is a 6-shot 44 Magnum cylinder. And if you could see these in person, you would see this is so well refined. It's just very nicely made, very nicely finished. The star, everything about this is really nice. The ejection is really nice. It's just a very well-made gun. Now, one thing I do like about this gun is that the cylinders are easily removed. You just push the button on the side and the cylinder pops right out. You don't have to unscrew any screws. This is also something you see on some lower end revolvers nowadays, but guns like Smith & Wesson Ruger don't seem to do it. I wish they did. I really do like that push button removal of the cylinder. And that cylinder does have multiple lockup points, both at the rear and the front of the cylinder. Now, this gun does come with walnut grips. These are very nice grips, but they're a little oversized. If I was going to carry this gun, I would probably swap these grips out because K&L frame grips from Smith & Wesson do fit this gun. I do believe they fit this also, just like they do the 357 Magnums, because the gun is only beefier in certain places. It's not beefier all over, so I think the grips are the same footprint. And since I mentioned that extra beefiness, let's look at it now. If you look right here, the gun actually flares out here at the top and here at the bottom. You can see where it becomes thicker down here. That makes the gun thicker and stronger where it needs to be without actually adding any extra weight or changing the size of the back end of the gun. So you're shooting a 44 Magnum gun, but you don't have all that extra weight and that bigger grip on it that you would if you actually changed the entire frame size. Now, the gun actually has a bladed rear sight, but it actually looks like a combat sight. It's very nicely put together. It's adjustable for height. You can move it left, right. Everything can be adjusted on this sight. So it's a pretty good rear sight. I really like the way they make it look kind of like a combat sight. Now, the front sight is a little bit of a big odd duck here. It's got those side wings on the side of it. Now, all of this is changeable. You can change the blade in the middle. You can take those things off the side. I personally would leave them if I could find a holster that would fit it with those on there, because I actually like the looks of it. It really does go well with the rough look of this gun, kind of the tough, really sharp and angular, etc. look of this gun. That blends in really well, so I actually do like them. Now, the gun does have a reversed crowned insert stainless steel barrel here and looks very nice. I mean, this thing is awesome. And it's also got the cut barrel shroud there. That is not speed holes. A lot of people might think those are speed holes, but that is actually to aid in cooling. It causes the barrel to cool more quickly because there's more surface area and there's more of the barrel actually exposed to the air. Now, one thing I do think you'll notice right away is this thing has got a lot of ridges and a lot of sharp edges on it. I mean, it looks like a Klingon's forehead over most of the gun. It does have rails on both the top of the body, the top of the barrel here, and under the barrel also if you want to put a light or a laser or whatever under here. It would be very easy to run a red dot on top and a light on bottom or whatever combination you want to put on this gun. Now, one thing you will notice on this gun is that every edge is perfectly formed. I mean, there is not a piece of this gun that doesn't look like it was thought out to the max. I mean, it's pretty much perfection in build, and it shows. I mean, like I said, every edge is finished amazingly well. The finish itself on the gun is a black DLC coating. That's diamond-like coating. It is a very tough finish. We'll see how well it holds up to range use here in a little while, but it's supposedly a very strong finish and holds up very well to use and to carry. Now that we've done a walkthrough of the actual features of the gun and what it looks like, let's talk about how it performs. Well, first off, I can tell you this hammer pull, that's like the smoothest hammer pull I've ever felt on a gun. Maybe my other Korth is as smooth, but this one might even be smoother than my 357 Magnum Korth, and it's definitely smoother than any other revolver I own. And as far as that single action trigger, it's 1911-like, and there's not a lot of clunk when it hits. It's a firm, solid feel. You don't have that hollow, clanky feel that you get with some revolvers and some other guns. It's just very smooth. And as far as the double action is concerned, it is so smooth. I mean, it's amazing. It feels almost like a typewriter instead of a gun. It's just very precise, very quick, very clean, very sharp, but still very buttery smooth. I mean, I just couldn't say enough good things about this trigger, both in double action and single action. So now that we've talked about all the features and talked about how the trigger feels, etc., let's take it out to the range, fire a few shots through it, and then I'll bring it back and we'll answer that question, is it worth the money? All right, first shots with the Korth 44 Magnum, the Korth NXR. Are you fucking crazy? I'm not shooting this gun. You know how much this gun cost? That would be insane. All right, I'll actually shoot it. For the sake of my viewers, I'll actually make the sacrifice. Pew! 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 Does that fool anybody? All right, let me try it again. There you go. Nah, I'm just kidding. Here, I'll load her up. We'll give her some shots. All right, now let's actually have some fun shooting it. Woo, almost took it off the chain. Potent. That Minuteman ammo is potent. Let's shoot the big one this time because it makes some noise. Boy, you hear that? That Minuteman ammo is potent. That's a big old piece of steel, and it's slinging the daylights out of it. This is a fine shooting gun. This gun is awesome. Okay, now that we've had it to the range, let's talk about this gun. Now, I only put 30 rounds through it, but still, one of the most pleasant shooting 44 Magnum guns I have ever had the pleasure of firing. Just amazing overall. Just such a smooth gun, such a clean gun, handles so well. The grips are actually very comfortable in your hand. The gun performs well. The muzzle rise isn't unmanageable. It's a nice heavy gun, absorbs recoil well, but it still feels very precise. Even though this is a big bore gun, it still feels like you're shooting a precision piece of machinery. This gun is made to be the best, and it shows at the range. Now, the big question, is it worth the money? And the answer to that is, it depends. If you are someone that appreciates a fine piece of machinery, if you're someone who appreciates a performance firearm, then you would love this gun. It'd be worth every penny to you. If you're the kind of person that would much rather, even if you're only driving 10 miles to work and back every day, much rather drive a Ferrari than a Ford, then you would love this gun. But if you're someone who's just looking for a practical, good, all-around carry revolver, or a revolver to use for hiking or in the woods, etc., this is not going to be the gun you choose. It's just too expensive and too nice. You don't want to fuck this up. So you would choose like a 329 PD or something like that. Because when it comes to carry, when it comes to daily use, I would not say it's worth the extra money. The extra performance is there, but it's not going to be enough to justify spending 5 times as much money on the gun. If you really want a good 44 Magnum for carry, get you a Smith & Wesson 29. it will do the job just as well as this gun for a lot less money. If you want one that's even easier to carry, get you a Smith & Wesson 329 PD. You'll have a little more felt recoil, but you'll have a much more pleasant carrying experience than you will with a 29, or especially with this gun, because this gun is kind of heavy. So if you're someone that appreciates fine guns, if you're someone that appreciates fine anything, if you like your stuff to be the best, well, then this gun will be worth every penny. But if you're more practical minded, this probably isn't the gun for you. But I would encourage all of you, if you ever get a chance to fire one, go fire it. Because even if you are kind of a practical guy, you might find that you do have a part of you that really appreciates the finer things, and you might decide you want one of these yourself.